Another week and another guide for who to farm this week. So let's begin. We got the new Naruto, which is not really that new anymore. He released last week, but I mean technically he's only a week old. He's still new. Should you farm him? I mean, I would say, okay, he is the easiest SS rank. If you haven't seen, I beat this SS rank using the worst hard team in the game possible. I just cherry picked the worst units in the heart element, and I managed to beat this SS rank. So it's really not that difficult of a raid, but at the same time, the unit is very bad. I hate talking bad about units, but it's true. Oh, this is the unawakened version. Okay, so this is the unawakened version. This is the PvE version. PvE, his normal jutsu is a very, very, very low multiplier of 2.6, and then he changes his range to vast. Nothing special. The ultimate boosts himself by 25% for 8 turns, which you'd think would be a good thing, but after using him a couple of times and testing him, I've seen that it doesn't really help because, again, his multiplier is super low. If, big if, you manage to 150 boost him, he's still not hitting that hard. So it's like he's just not that great. I do not recommend if you don't have time. If you don't have time, I do not recommend grinding him. But as a collector, I would grind farming anyone you can because you never know when they're coming back. And Six Tails Naruto, it's Six Tails. Six Tails Naruto is my favorite version of Naruto. Four Tails and Six Tails, because he's just completely going insane, and I absolutely love when the main character goes insane. I love it, and this is my favorite version of him, but it's just the unit is bad. But then if you go in PvP, he could have been a very interesting unit, I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing, his jutsu is only at 4.2 times, showing him easy range. The hitbox is terrible. If you've not seen a showcase for him, if you've not seen his hitbox, it's very bad, and he increases damage of non-effective elemental affinities by 10%. It's just not that great. He's just not very good. You can get a reset, but by the time he's coming back, you're not gonna jutsu again because you'll probably be defeated by that time. He's not very good. That's all I have to say. He's just not very good, and it sucks, because again, he's my favorite version of Naruto. Him and the Four Tails Naruto version, but it is what it is. Moving on, we have Skill Haku. Skill Haku is an easy skip. It's a very, very outdated unit. I say this every single video almost, but they need to do something about these very old units, because look at this Haku. This Haku has a barrier of 2000 when she uses he. People get mad when I call him she, but I mean, it's just an inside joke. It's a joke, okay? I'm gonna call her she. She has a barrier of 2000 when she uses her normal jutsu, and it's like, okay, Pain has a barrier of 15,000. You know, it's like, it's just outdated, and it doesn't even do damage. Like, again, Pain, I know Pain's a Blazing Festival, but when he uses his ultimate, he does a huge amount of damage to the whole map, and he puts up a barrier of 15,000. It's just outdated. If Blazing was like Dokkan and could do like some Blazing Awakenings on old units, oh god, I would love that. But as it is, Haku is a bad unit. I would not suggest going for her in any time soon. Four Tails Naruto, again, just very sad, but actually, I think he's a decent unit. His raid is not difficult at all. I remember people have done this raid with like 1 stars. It's just not difficult. 20% damage reduction, it's more damage reduction than this guy. It's 15%. 20% damage reduction. The normal jutsu does deplete your health, and it's 6 and 12. That's the bad thing about him. But if you want him just for overall tank, again, his raid is not difficult, and you only need 5 copies. You don't even need to lane break him. Again, if the raid wasn't easy, I would say no. But nowadays, I would say he's still like not as viable as he once was, but he's not that terrible either. His hitbox is way better than the new one, and just stuff like that. So, is it? Yeah, it's a round circle around him. Yeah. So moving on, I have Haku again. Haku is a 5-star. You can skip her. I don't even know why they bring. I mean, I know why they bring back these raids. It's because if people have not done the Pearl objectives, they can do it. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's good for new players. Like, I do commend them for bringing emergency missions so frequently, because new players and just grind up the pearls, man. It's very, very helpful, but Haku is an emergency mission, 5-star, just don't recommend. Jutsu is a 2-time show enemies in range, don't recommend at all. And then we have Jinpachi. Now, Jinpachi, here's the thing. He doesn't do good, he doesn't have good jutsus, right? 6 and 12, very bad jutsu, very bad, the ultimate is okay. But here's the thing, the 20% reduced damage to body can help in SS ranks. There are units that are better, don't get me wrong. There are units that are way better, but if you need a body damage reducer on your skill element, he can be the guy, okay? Emergency mission, so the raid is super easy. You can get a couple copies. I used him to defeat the Kisame Super Impact. He was my tank because I didn't have any better. I don't have Utakata, okay? I didn't have better tanks, and he was my guy. So I'm just saying, he can be helpful. Moving on, we have Fuguki. He actually, like, every single time I look at him, I just think something different about him, but he is very good. Like 25% damage reduction across the board. Again, it's more than the Super Impact that has 15% for Naruto. He has well, let me go back. He has 25% damage reduction, and furthermore he has increased damage against Heart, which again is the element that he does increase damage against, so that's very good. And also when he normal jutsus, he gives himself damage reduction. If you need a body to tank, that's a body unit to tank overall, he can be very helpful. Yeah, he can be very, very helpful as an overall tank. So I would say just get all the copies of him. The good thing about emergency missions is that you don't need to limit break them. It's not like impacts, right? Because let's say you want to max this Naruto, you would have to do the impact over and over and over and over again just to get the crystals. But of course, with emergency missions, I lost him. With emergency missions, you just need the one copy and you're done. So that's a good thing about emergency missions overall. And of course, the 15% damage reduction can stack, but I doubt it will because it's only for 2 turns. So very difficult to stack that. I mean, he is 6 and 12, so that's a negative, but still. Moving on, we have Sugetsu. Sugetsu is very bad. No, don't. You can skip him. He does give himself perfect dodge when he ults, but it's just like, is that helpful? I don't think it is. You can skip him for sure. And then I thought I forgot. No, I didn't forget. Jugo is right here. My boy Jugo is my first emergency mission to get 9-9 luck, and I must say, no. 6 and 12. Why are all of them 6 and 12? 7.5 towards 1 removes barrier, 4 times towards 1. He does, hear me out. Let me bring up the calculator just so I can prove a point, okay? This is an ultimate, and this is a normal jutsu. 4 times 2 is bigger than the ultimate. I don't get it. Why are free-to-play, some free-to-play units are like this, and I just don't get it. Why does the normal jutsu do more damage than the ultimate? If that's not a sign that this unit is not good, I don't know what else to tell you. The normal jutsu, 2 normal jutsus do more damage than 1 ultimate. That's insulting. And then we have the best unit of the week by far, and one of the best free-to-play units in the game. If I move on to the PvP shop, if not the best free-to-play unit in the game, can he get that title? I think he can. Is Omoi. Omoi, he deserves the title of best free-to-play unit in the game because here's the thing. What element is he? He's a skill typing, okay? Skill typing. And what does he do? He switches the enemy from any element he is, it doesn't matter what element he is, to body. Which of course, skill has type advantage against. So no matter what raid you're doing, if you have a full skill team, you ultimate with Omoi, and the boss, you ultimate the boss, right? And the boss will take type advantage from your skill units every time. There are no bosses in this game, as the time being that I'm recording this video, that have immunity to this ability. This ability is overpowered, and it's super good. And normal jutsu also changes to skill if you need a quick switch, like from a hard type to skill type. That can be very helpful, but the ultimate overall, not only he will always do type advantage, always do type advantage on his ultimate, which is really good. If you have like Omoi, and then you have Sage 6 Paths Obito in the next lane, and you have let's say the new EMS Sasuke in the other lane, you can just destroy any raid you can think of. So he is an amazing unit for that, and of course he deserves to be maxed out. PvP coins are kind of like the most difficult currency to get out of all of this, but if you do get any PvP coins, just straight up go for Omoi, he deserves it. Moving on, since we are already in the PvP shop, let me go Tsunade. Tsunade is also a very good unit. I want to say if you are between buying Omoi and Tsunade, Omoi is the better pick. Although it's let me go back here. Although Tsunade is a good unit, Tsunade has 300 healing per turn, which is really good for free-to-play unit. Body skill of 180 healing, field skill of up to 180 healing, and she does have a the ultimate that does 2000 damage for 3 turns. That's guaranteed damage, no matter if the enemy has perfect dodge, barrier, no matter what, that is gonna do damage. That can be helpful. I feel like if you finish up Omoi, you should go for Tsunade, but do prioritize Omoi. Again, she's deserving though. You can buy her. I feel like she's a worthy unit to buy, and but go for Omoi first. He's just better. He's just insane. He's just absolutely insane. So moving on to the PvP Ninja Road shop, we have 1010. Thank God, I can't. Dude, I've been talking about this 1010 for what, 5 weeks. Finally, next week she's going away. And next week we're getting the Hidan, which is terrible. But let's talk about Hidan next week, because this is global. 1010, she's okay. Every single time I just say she's okay. It's just because she's good, but she depends on her resets on the ultimate. Like, she's a 3 and 6 unit, so you can get her ultimate pretty easily. And she does do some decent damage on skill. But that's about it. That's all she does. She does some decent damage against skill, and she has a 20% chance to mobilize, which is really low. I wish she had like abilities to increase that or something, but not this. And she's okay. If you are between buying acquisition stones or 1010, buy the acquisition stones. There's no question about this at all. Even Linear Break Crystals, I would say buy the Linear Break Crystals instead of 1010, and then go for 1010. Because honestly, 1010 is way better than Hidan, which is coming next week. So if you're like missing a copy of 1010 and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should save for Hidan, go for 1010. Hidan is terrible. He's completely terrible. So just go for 1010. And then last but very least is Deidara. He is one of the people that are trying to be the worst unit in the game, because whenever you use his ultimate, you lose 25% of your health. This is not a joke, this is real. This is not a joke, it is actually an ultimate. It costs 12 chakra, which no ultimate that does that should cost 12 chakra, and you lose 25% of your health. It should be a joke, but it's not. So yeah, it ends off like this. Thank you guys for watching. You already know. I mean, really, it has not changed much from last week. It really is just Omoi and Tsunade. But, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty slow week. It's a pretty slow week. What can I say? Play PvP. Right now is, what is it? Is the training section. You can maybe get some coins by Omoi. That would be a great idea. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. I haven't said please subscribe in a while. Wow.